Oh man, what's that? What's that? Prison justice. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Now, for this story, I will not be dropping any names due to the violent natures of these inmates. And some of these guys are actually still down, I believe. Now, I told y'all a story about the monthly drop. We got a box dropped every month full of illegal goodies. And I had an electric knuckle taser sent in. This joint was strong, like one touch on the skin, gonna send a jolt through your whole body. To the point you gotta reset your brain, remind yourself how to walk again. The knuckles was rubber, so it had a nice comfortable fit, good grip, so it wasn't falling off in a fight. And that's mainly what I got it for, to make quick work of a fight. But every now and then, I rent it out. Now, one time I rented it out to this one guy. He said he had a little beef and he wanted to handle it a little differently. Someone went in this guy's cell and stole his cell phone. Now, just like anything else, you have possibly 24 hours about that to find out who took your stuff and try and get it back. The longer it's missing, it can get sold or used or whatever. Now, get in the comment box. What would you have done if someone stole your cell phone? You know a cell phone costs you like $1,500, $2,500 in prison. And that ain't easy to come by unless your hustle game crazy. Now, the guy that rented the taser knuckles, he was in a gang. So finding out who had the balls to go in a gang member's cell and steal wasn't hard at all. It was plenty of neutrons and fiends in the pod willing to talk for brownie points. So a neutron told dude exactly what he saw. He found out it was another gang member. So not only was it disrespectful, but now it's going to warrant either a war or an inmate DP to show they did not support the member's actions. Now, like I said, you only have a matter of time to find your stuff before it gets sold or used or whatever. Dude is already in another pod trying to get that cell phone off. He wasn't trying to keep it. He was trying to come up on like 2 stacks. So, word already getting around that is a dude trying to sell a cell phone. Now, homeboy already went to that guy's gang and told him what it was. Like, listen, your homeboy ran up in my room, took my cell phone, and I just want to see what y'all want to do about it. Y'all already know the vibes. Either we can go to war about it, or y'all could DP him and push him over to me for that justice. So, they're like, all right, listen, hold on. Let me go talk to my peoples, and I'll be right back. And he go talk to his generals and his lieutenants and everybody. They're like, yo, that dude a sucker anyway, man. He shouldn't have ran up in his cell like that. He on some bum shit. Like, I mean, he don't got steal. We got cell phones. I mean, we got bread. We ain't got to steal from them. Nah, we ain't backing them, yo. We ain't backing them. DP. He getting the DP, and then we throwing him over to him. And if he wants to stay on the set, it's going to be repercussions and boundaries and rules. So, yeah. Tell him we down with the DP. Old boy goes back and tells him, he's like, yeah, we're going to catch that fool slipping. We're going to give him a DP he ain't never going to forget. And then we're going to toss him over to you and tell him he got shoot the fade or whatever y'all want to do with him. That's up to y'all. But you can't unalive him. That's the only thing. He's still part of the gang. We feel everything that happened. We get it. No disrespect. But you cannot unalive him. Dude, like, oh yeah, no doubt. I got no plans of unaliving him. I don't want to catch that charge. So, you know what I mean? I'm not going to unalive him, but dude got to learn a lesson. He got to learn. He going to get these knuckles. And he pulled them out and showed it to him. They was like, what the hell is that? And he told him, he's like, Electric Knuckles, he gonna get this prison torture after he get the prison justice. He won't ever run up in another gang member's cell again and steal anything, not even a candy bar. And they're like, oh shit, dang. That you sure that shit ain't going on unalive him? Like, nah, he be alright. He be alright. We're gonna beat him down though. He might, have a few broken bones when I'm done, but he gonna be alright. They're like, I don't want to know no more, man. I don't want to know no more. Hey, So they're like, everybody spin off now. This dude comes back from the other pod, and fortunately, he didn't get to sell the cell phone. Nobody had the money to buy it off of him. So when his own homies approached him, he tried to sell it to them. They're like, hey, yo, where you get that phone, Holmes? Come here, let me see it. And they took the phone. One of them stashed it so they could give it back to old boy when it was done. And they said, hey, we got word that you stole that phone earlier today from another gang member's cell, right out of his locker. And he like, what you talking about, man? What you talking about? Yeah, I stole it, but he wasn't in no gang. And they're like, yeah, he is. And guess what? Now you got to pay. He's like, hold on. What you mean? I got to pay. What I do, man? What I do? He like, listen, we just told you. You stole from another gang. You potentially put the rest of the gang at danger of a war. You didn't even tell us up front that you did it. They could have just came and popped off on us because they thought we was down with your actions. Luckily, they came and talked to us like men. Now, we're going to give you a DP like men do. So assume the position and get ready. So, dude tensing up. He like, oh man, come on, man. Y'all ain't gonna do that to me, is y'all? Y'all ain't gonna do. BAM! Out of nowhere, left hook. Boom! It goes a right. Somebody kicked him from the back. Boom! Kicked him down on the ground. Now they stomping him. They punching him. This is a DP, y'all. Now, it didn't have to be this brutal and this violent. But like I said, you put the whole gang at risk. At any given moment, that other gang could have jumped on any of the other members thinking that it was war. You ran up in my cell, so we must be at war. Now, after this violent beatdown that this guy received for stealing the cell phone, he was all lumped up. They dragged him back to the bathroom, the back bathroom, y'all. And they called old boy and his gang. And they said, listen, he knocked out in the back. Y'all do whatever y'all gonna do. And just like we said, don't unalive him. Now, back in the prison bathroom, in the shower stalls, there was always a chair, a wooden chair that'd be sitting there to the side. That was commonly used by fat people who was just too lazy to stand up while they was taking a shower. They could sit their lazy ass there under the water and wash up. Or disabled people who had to sit on it where they had a leg injury or whatever the issue was. Now, they had already slid homeboy into that chair and they had him pretty much in the shower stall. His other homeboys was on their way down there with bed sheets and dirty socks. They tied homeboy up in that bathroom, y'all, and stuffed those dirty socks in his mouth. Tied him to that chair and commenced to whooping his ass some more. He got some more prison justice. Now get in the comment box, y'all, because I've seen some of y'all agree, I've seen some of y'all disagree on what is prison justice. And some say that some of these acts are a little too violent. They take it a little too far. And I kind of agree with y'all on some matters. But now tell me this, y'all. Get in the comment box. Him getting his ass whipped twice, was that taking it too far? Was that way past prison justice? I want to know, y'all, what do y'all think? But hold on, because the story's not over. That's not where the story ends. Nah, not by a long shot. After they whooped his ass over and over in that chair, that's when the knuckles came out, y'all. And now this is where I think things got borderline crazy, where they ripped this man's shirt off and started electrocuting his nipples, y'all. One at a time. Bzz, bzz. They started electrocuting his lips. They start electrocuting his nose. Inside, the soft part where your nose hairs are. Yeah, they start shoving them knuckles up his nose and popping them off. Yeah, y'all. The softest parts of his body is where they was hitting. They got under his arms. They was getting him over and over and over again. This guy's eyes was rolling back at his head. Yeah. His brain didn't know what to do from so many jolts going through his body. He's shaking repeatedly over there. Mind you, this guy's a mess. Face all swole up, red stuff leaking all over him, down the bed sheets, all on the chair, and that's why they had him in the shower. So, I don't know, y'all. This guy, he learned a lesson, not only never to steal from a gang member, but never to steal again, because you never know who might be watching. You never know what might happen. Now your gang got to deal with you. They got to figure out what are they going to do with you. Are they going to let you stay on the set? Or are they going to make you do some embarrassing, disrespectful stuff and kick you out? So old boy was allowed to stay on his set, but they put him on what's called cleanup. Let me explain what cleanup is. And it's almost like a setup. It's almost like ensuring that your punishment will go on until they say so, until they say it's time to stop. So pretty much, cleanup means you got to do all the gang's laundry. You got to clean all the gang cells. If at any time their cells aren't clean, well, you could get a DP. So whenever they felt like it, somebody would just make the room a mess and say, nah, he ain't clean my room. He ain't clean my room. Now you got a DP coming your way, whether you like it or not. Whether you say, you calling me a liar? You saying you cleaned the room and I say you didn't. You calling me a liar? And hey, it is what it is. That was one of the most famous punishments. And that could go on from anywhere from 8 months to a year when people get tired of it and either you start putting real work back in for the set and claim your rights back, or they say, all right, enough is enough. And after about 9 months, they let old boy start claiming his set again. And he was changed. He was a changed person. He definitely learned his lesson. But I tell you what, after all those beatdowns, he ain't even walk and talk the same no more. It was almost like he was a walking vegetable. He done got kicked in the head and kicked in the stomach, punched in the side so many times. He's just moving, you know? You know how they say you just doing the motions? He's just there, y'all. All he know is breakfast, lunch, dinner, day room. He has no purpose. He don't write nobody at home. He don't take no phone calls. He just sits around in the daze and he just exists. They literally, what was that saying, y'all, that a lot of the older people used to say back in the day? I'll beat the devil out you. They beat the devil out of this man. And well, again, y'all, get in the comment box because I'm having a hard time figuring out whether or not this was prison justice or just pure prison torture. All right, y'all, look, that's going to be the end of this story. I really hope you liked it. Like, share, subscribe, and if you can, hype this video, y'all. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show. I'm out.